okay, Melissa, this exercise is a one-armed row variation. And a lot of times when you do a one-arm dumbbell row, you're supporting yourself, right? We want to make this a little bit more specific to your golf swing. Okay, so kind of going back to your address and the position that you're in with your hips flexed and your knees soft, getting ready to swing the club. What we want to do is focus again on the anti-rotation property of the core, but use an exercise that also is going to strengthen up your upper back to help your posture as well. Okay, so this is basically going to help with position as well as that torso integration. Because a big theme that we've been talking about is locking the chest onto the pelvis so that the entire body rotates together and you're not breaking down into isolated movements. So basically what I'm going to have you do is, if you think about a shortstop position, a baseball player putting his hands on his knees, the same position that they might hold when they're resting, I want you to get into that position. I don't want it to be exactly like I want it to be a little bit deeper than your address, okay? So I want you to get into a shortstop position, flexed at the hips, all right? So if you're looking from the side, we're flexed at the hips, the shins are vertical to the ground, the knees are bent just enough to engage the hamstrings to help us with positioning. We don't want to overly arch the back, but we also don't want to flatten it out either. We just want to get into a neutral spine position. We want to flex the hips, keep that chin tucked so that we're not extending the neck. The chin's tucked so that we're looking maybe about 5 feet in front of where you're standing, and hands on the knees. And this is the position that we're going to be in for the exercise. Then what I'm going to have you do is, with the free hand, you can either place it above your tailbone on your back or put it on your hip, and then you're going to hold the dumbbell right in front of the knees and row it up using the muscles of the upper back. So this is how we're going to get the posture static position, and we're going to get some upper back work as well. And when you pull the weight, what you're going to feel is your body's going to want to shift to the side that you're holding the weight. So that's where you're going to have to bite down in the torso and really hold that position. Okay? So go ahead and stand with your feet about hip width apart, maybe a little wider, and get down into the shortstop position. So the knees are bent, the hips are flexed, the back is arched but not overly arched, so it's in a neutral position, the chin's tucked, okay? Good. So now I want you to bite down on the abs, lock that position, and we're going to take the right hand, grab onto the dumbbell, and just let it suspend. So now you feel the weight pulling you to this side, so you have to lock down to hold the position, and you're going to row the dumbbell by pulling from the upper back and then the bicep, so pull up toward the chest, squeezing back here where the shoulder blades are, and then stretch it back down, again, maintaining spinal alignment. So go ahead and do another repetition. Good, so we see no rotation right here. This is all locked down tight and stable, and we're pulling from the upper back and finishing the movement with the biceps. Good, let's try 3 repetitions on the other side. So lock down on the abs, neutral spine, chin is packed, and you're initiating the row from up behind the shoulder, specifically the rhomboid muscle and then the posterior deltoid. So again, we're working the upper back, and this is going to help your posture as well as your torso for your golf swing.